Hello dear YouTubing friends, and welcome to this new video of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 running on my Mid-Spec PC. I'm currently flying around Los Angeles area, and if you look at that bottom reading at the top left there, where it's got D3D11, those are my frames per second. And for an incredibly busy area like this, and for flight simulators in general, that's not too bad at all. I always have my PC specifications listed on my About tab on my channel page, but I'm going to put them up on screen for you here. As you can see, I have a GTX 1060 6GB, which nowadays can be completely considered a mid-spec graphics card. I'm also running a Ryzen 5 1600AF, and as you can see from the figures to the left there, the actual graphics card is definitely bottlenecking my CPU. I'm also only running 16GB of DDR4 memory, and it's not all being utilised in the simulation currently. One of the most important aspects of my build and running this simulation is that I've got it installed on a fast SSD drive, an M2 drive in fact. I always recommend that you install and run your flight simulators on the fastest SSD drive you can find. Definitely recommend the M2 drives. So now let's take a look at my settings. When I first ran FS2020, it recommended that I run the simulation in all high settings. I didn't get the best frame rates doing that, so I lowered everything to medium settings. So as you can see, I've got most settings on medium. The only thing I did change is the contact shadows, and I put that on low. That's generally because shadows don't always play too happy with my graphics card. And the results, as you can see, is that I get a happy medium. Even flying in a busy area like Paris with Bing Maps data turned on, I'm still getting above 30 frames per second generally. It can dip now and again when it's loading in a new area, and in fact it can increase when there's not so many buildings when you're facing forward or left or right, for example. In fact, if I didn't have the frame rate showing, I wouldn't notice any stutter even when I'm panning the views around, as you can see from this video. Even whilst recording, the frame rate stayed steady. So again, like previous videos, I'm gonna link in the description a company where you can buy a mid-spec PC for around the £600 to £700 mark, and you can play Flight Simulator 2020 quite happily with good settings. I've only just started my adventure in Flight Simulator 2020, but I'm having a blast already. Don't worry if you're looking for my thoughts on how the Logitech flight yacht system works and the settings on that. I am going to release a future video on that. But for now, if you haven't got Flight Simulator 2020 yet, if you're worried about your PC handling it, go and try it on the Microsoft Store. That's what I'm doing at the moment. There you can actually get it for very cheaply indeed, and you can see how it works on your system. So what are your thoughts on Flight Simulator 2020? Leave it in the comments below. If you have any questions about your own PCs, leave them in the comments below. Give this video a like if you liked it. Consider subscribing for more great videos, and I'll see you soon.